Second method to add books, let me close this first, to iBooks is through email. So let me close this and go into my email program. I've sent myself 2 PDFs so I can demonstrate how to do this. So I'm going to launch Mail, and I happen to be, when I go into my folder, you know, it would show up as a new email if it was truly a new email. Let me slide it up a little bit. And one of the things I wanted to point out, and the reason I have 2 PDFs attached to this particular email, is because if it's a small PDF, it will show up like you're seeing here with this woven lanyard. It looks like a picture, but it's actually a PDF. And if it's a large PDF, it'll show up like the one in the bottom left corner there that you're probably more familiar with, especially if you use a PC. Either one of these can be added to iBooks. What you do, I'm going to slide back down to the lanyard. You put your finger on the PDF, and since that is a PDF, even though it looks like a picture, I'm going to put my finger on it and hold, and then I'm going to get a pop-up window. I can choose one of those 3 options. Quick Look just opens it. Well, I'll just show you what it does. It just gives you a closer view. Let me go back. Let me close Done there and get that back up. I can open it in iBooks, or I can open it in and Here are some different ways I can open it in. It looks like there's whoops, I just hit the screen. Let me try this one more time. Open it in. It looks like there's only 4 options, but if I scroll, there's actually a number of options, and these are, for the most part, these are different apps that I've added to my iPad. But you'll see at the top, again, iBooks. So I can open it here, or I can open it in the previous screen where it said iBooks. So when I hit iBooks, it's going to take this lanyard display, or lanyard sheet. It's going to automatically move it to the PDF folder, that second folder we saw, and then open it so we can view it. So here goes. I'm going to push iBooks. It's in the folder, and then it launches it. And I said it's going to put it in the PDF folder, and that's where it would if this was the first time it's been added, but I've demonstrated in the process of trying to do this video earlier today, I ended up sticking it in Route 48, and I forgot I put it in there. So it actually said, hey, it's already in Route 48. I'm not going to put a second copy on your iPad, which is a nice feature so you're not using up memory. So it's there in the top left corner. I open it, and there it is. Now I just touched on the screen to open it. Any of these PDFs I could open. So when I touch that on my screen, it automatically opens. When I want to go back, I touch Library and go back to my library. And you can see a lot of PDFs in there, and this is in thumbnail view. There's 2 views to see your PDFs. You got thumbnail, which are these 4 squares in the brown box. You also have a list view, which is the box next to it with 3 lines. So when I go to list view, it's much easier to see what some of those PDFs are if I could only touch it and talk at the same time. So it gives you a list view with the names, so if you're looking for a particular PDF, you can spot it. Say I wanted to go to the Hazel PDF. I can hit that and open it. And because of trying to film this earlier, I'm doing this in portrait mode, or landscape mode. Portrait mode is how I would normally view it, but on this TV screen and using the video camera, it's better if I use landscape mode. So if I turned it, I'll turn it real quickly, I could see the full page. So I'm going to turn it back. And this particular PDF is actually 5 pages long. It tells you down here, 1 of 5. Now I can swipe and move the pages as normal. I could also just tap on either side of the screen to move in either direction. So when I tap on the right side, it's going to move a page forward at a time, especially if I hit it right. And then if I tap on the other side of the page, I can go back. But if you had a large PDF and you wanted to advance quickly, you could touch the last page if you knew what you wanted was on the last page. It tells me I'm on 5 of 5. Not a big deal with 5 pages, but if you have a PDF that's 15, 20 or more pages, that's a nice feature to be able to advance there. So let me go back into our library, get rid of this. I'm going to go back to thumbnail view, which is how I like to normally keep it. And let's say I was in this view and I wanted to find the Pain imprint program. You'll see a bar up here that says search. I actually have 3 PDFs in my complete in every folder. There's a total of 3 PDFs. There's 2 in Route 48 and there's 1 in our dated program. But when I touch that folder or that line up there where it says search, the keyboard's going to pop up. So I'm going to start typing Pain. And it's going to bring every PDF that I have labeled Pain up. There's the 2 that are in the Route 48 and there's 1 in our dated program. Whichever one I touch is going to take me into that folder and then launch that PDF. So I'm going to touch the dated program, and there is our Pain dated program, which is 1 page long. So when I close that, you're going to see I'm in the dated program, or dated folder, or category, or collection. I have Pain as well as At a Glance. So that search feature is nice. Of course, if you use the list view, it's easy to find, but sometimes you say, where did I stick that? So you can quickly search that way. Now, I mentioned, let's move on to another way to add, whoops, I hit the wrong thing, but I wanted to mention that. There's a button up here that says Store. When you're in the folder view, or the collections view, if you hit that by mistake, it takes you to the iTunes Store. And all you have to do to go back to it, obviously, is just hit Library. But I seem to hit that frequently, and I just wanted to mention it. So, okay, I'm going to show you another way. I'm going to close iBooks, and I'm going to download something from our website, or any website, as long as it's a PDF. So I'm going to launch Safari. It's their browser, the Apple browser, and I'm going to go to Service Wholesale's website, which is our shopping cart. And hopefully you'll all recognize it. One of the things about our shopping cart is very slow to load, which I'm sure you've noticed. But in a second here, that blue line will take off. It's not the iPad, it's just the way the shopping cart seems to work. Okay, so we're in our home page at the top, but when I scroll down, we have all the different PDFs that David has stored on our shopping cart. My mind's about shot for the day. So I can click on any of these and open them. So let me pick one. In the process of filming this, I've downloaded some and I don't think I discontinued or removed them. So, well, we'll just use the Duo 2-in-1. Except for I didn't hit the Duo 2-in-1, I hit the dry mark pen. So, okay, I've got that, I've opened it from the internet, and now I say, hey, I'd like to keep that on my iPad. So if I touch the screen, suddenly this line will pop up, which will also disappear quickly. And you can see over here, if I can talk quick enough, it says open in iBooks and open in. That's the same 2 options we had before. If I can hit open in iBooks, which is what I want to do. If I hit the open in, it will bring up all those options, including open in iBooks. I'm just going to take the shortcut and say open in iBooks. Except for I think I already have this one on there, but anyway, it downloaded it to my iPad and stuck it in, actually, the PDF folder. Whew. And you can see again, it's in PDFs. I can hit it and bring it back up. Okay, let's say I've got it in, as I said, every PDF for the first time it's loaded to your iPad, if you don't have it on there, will go into the PDF folder. But now I want to move it. I want to put it in a different folder. How do I do that? Well, first of all, if I don't lose this here, I go back to the library, and up in this corner it says Edit. So I touch the Edit button. I touch the Edit button, really. And notice Edit turned to a blue Do Done. And I have 2 options now that weren't there before. I have Move and I have Delete. I'm going to delete this one because this was, when I filmed it earlier today, I downloaded that. So I'm just going to, when I touch this in my library, watch what happens. You notice, well, you can't hardly tell it. So let me touch the other one. Kind of grays it out, puts a blue check mark. I don't really want to delete that one because I want to show you by moving one. So this one I've checked. It says 1 item selected. If I touch the other one, suddenly that says 2 items selected, and I touch it again, it goes away. So I want to delete it. So all I have to do is hit my delete button, and it's going to ask me, you sure you want to delete it? Yes, I do. Poof, it's gone. It's off my iPad. Now, I still want to move this to a different folder, so I hit the edit button up in the top right corner again. Touch that page. It lightens it up, puts a check mark, and this time I'm going to say move. It's going to bring up all my categories that I can move it into. I'm going to move it into new products, even though it's not a new product, but just to show you how it works. So I hit new product. You saw it go right into that. It kind of just morphed into there, and here it is. It puts the new thing in the top right corner, top left corner. Depends on which direction you're facing, I guess. Anyway, it's there. If I open it, there it is, the dry mark. Counterfeit money detector that we've discontinued and replaced it with a Sanford. So that's how easy it is to move them around, and I could move it back and forth. Whoops, I didn't mean to open that. So that's 2 ways I can add it. Now let me go to a third way. Shut this down.